Are fetishes genetic? I really don't want to know. I'll have to ask my dad what makes his dick hard next time I see him. I'll get back to you with my findings. I hope not, then my family would be a bunch of perverts. I hang out in the kink scene, and if it were hereditary, then I think I would see a lot more people bumping into their parents and siblings. It happens, of course, but it's rare. If I had to guess, I would say that fundamental stuff like sex drives and psychological conditions can be hereditary, and then you might be more likely to develop fetishes in general. Hereditary might be a more useful word here. You can't really research if something is specifically genetic very easily, especially something like this. Today is the day you let your intrusive thoughts win. OMG, no, you've put pictures in my head I definitely didn't want to have. I am into femdom, like my father before me. Yeah, your cavemen ancestors were really into latex gimp suits. They invented them just after fire and talcum powder. It's likely no, but it's also possible that some aspect of our brains early on make us predisposed to all sorts of behaviors, including paraphilia. The brain is immensely complicated, as is the human experience. We'll likely never have anything but a broad framework for human social development. Maybe. I knew a woman who was into BDSM. One of her kinks was being tied up with ropes. She caught her daughter tying up her dolls with ropes. She is adamant that there is no way that the daughter could have seen the mother's shenanigans. Really don't want to think about that. I'd say probably mostly nurture though. I hope. For instance, the cliché about the top CEO visiting dominatrixes isn't because he was born like that, but because he has so much power and control in everyday life. It's a turn on and a taboo for him to give it up. In the bedroom, a lot of people are turned on by things they've either had some kind of formative experience of or that they, due to life experience, find particularly taboo. I don't want to go into too much detail for obvious reasons. I will just say that my son's father passed away when they were babies. They never met him, they never knew him, and they didn't know of him until this past year because they were adopted by my now husband, and he didn't want them to feel fatherless, left out or othered in our family, and he raised them as his own for a long time and still does. My ex had a very rare, crazy fetish. Didn't harm anyone or anything, but it was something very unique. A couple years ago, I found evidence that my son was into similar activities. Obviously never brought it up, but it blew my mind as I hadn't thought of it in more than a decade. So I'm not sure of the answer to this question, but it's an interesting one, and I suppose it's possible. I think there was a study about this which said yes, but it was later invalidated and debunked. So I don't think so, but we would need more research to be sure. Genetics play a role, but it's like asking if alcoholism is genetic. You might be predisposed to alcoholism, but it's still mostly about nurture. I don't believe that they are. I believe that I learned mine. Hey Grandma, I've got a question.
No.
No, they're formed by experiences. Op asked a genuinely good question, and most people are like, I don't want to know. Reddit moment. This is what I found online. We have no concrete evidence that our genetic makeup is directly linked to our sexual interests. At least not yet. But it's fair to say that some people are genetically predisposed to develop kinks and fetishes. It is relatively well documented that personality is to some extent heritable. Certain traits tend to run in families.
No. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.